Good morning everybody and welcome back after the Easter break. It's the 22nd of April. The days are flying by. I hope that you're all keeping well, and I'm sure you're wondering what I'm doing on the floor. Well, I thought that today we might start the class just a little bit differently and do some floor work. We're often in the chairs when we're working in class in City Centre and in Axis, and if you're at home and you have a nice bit of carpet or even a yoga mat, I really like working on this rug. It's nice and comfy and it's easy to get down onto the floor, and it's just it's a different way of moving. So we're going to start first of all just sitting up nice and straight, kind of the back straight, the legs are out in front of us, and you notice my legs are straight, but sometimes it's hard to get a straight leg, so you could bring your knees up a little bit, and really whatever is comfortable for you, okay? And from that, actually, you can come back into a position like this where you can put your hands behind your back, and we're just going to get into the ankles. So we've done this exercise before, but it's a kind of different way of doing it here down on the floor. So and as you're doing that, you have a good view of your feet, so you can say hello feet. You can ask them how they are this morning. Have they done much work yet? Oh, there's a crack in my ankle. Lots of cracks in my body. Yeah, so we're going to get into those ankles, just stretching them out. And then you can point your feet forward. So it's like pointing the toes forward as if you were going to shoot something out of your big toe. And then you're going to curl the feet up, and you're pointing the toes up towards the ceiling now, and you should be able to feel that in your legs. You can feel it in the back of the calf muscle, which is down here. Yeah, we'll do that a couple of times. So pointing, shooting out through the toes, and as I'm doing this now, I can feel that it's quite tight in my feet. I can feel a kind of a tension in there, and then I'm going to curl them back up and point them up to the ceiling. Good, and then one more time, shooting out from the toes and curling up and pointing them to the ceiling. That's it. And then back into circling again. Good. You can circle them at different times. And now you're going to give them a little bit of a shake out. So we have done this as well, sitting in the chair, but it's actually quite nice when you're doing it on the ground, because the ground gives a little bit of a massage onto the back of the legs there. So that's it. Just shaking them out a little bit. Yeah. Ooh, like a big lump of jelly. That's it. And then coming forward, sitting up, and then rubbing the hands together. And you know why we do that? We rub the hands together to get them nice and warm. That's it. Great, and then you're going to take those warm hands into your legs, and you're saying hello to your legs. So if you're doing this in the afternoon, you can say good afternoon legs, or if it's in the morning, good morning legs, whatever, or whenever you're watching this video. So all the way into the muscles. And actually you can really get into your legs now in a different way that you mightn't be able to do when you're sitting in a chair, or indeed even standing up. Right, and if you can lean over to one side and get into that big muscle there alongside the thigh. That's it, right into that. It's a big muscle there. Great, back over and then into the other leg. So saying hello to that leg and being grateful and thankful for your legs and all the work that they do for you, carrying you around each day. Unfortunately, not as far as you might like to go these days. I'm just clapping in there as well. And again, leaning over and into that big muscle. You can see I'm making a face there because that's a little bit tight, that muscle, because I've been doing a little bit of cycling. So I did a clap there, and I'm going to give it another clap. Just getting into those muscles, into both sides. Great. And then I'm going to bring up one foot, it doesn't matter which, and I'm going to do the sort of same thing to the foot. So if you are doing this exercise at home, please do it in your socks or in your bare feet so that you can get into your foot. It'd be much harder to do that if you had your shoes on. And the fact that you're at home and sitting on the ground, you're not in any danger of slipping. So I'm going to start again using probably like the thumb and my fingers and getting into my ankle, little massage in there. And then down into the foot. I'm massaging the bottom part of the foot here. The instep, I think it's called. And into the toes as well. That's great. And then you can come up through the thigh muscle there as well. And around the knee. And a little bit of a rub. And then you lift up that and just kind of shake it out a bit. It's kind of hard to do that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, down to the ankle. Check out your toe. There we go. And drop that back down. And then bringing up the other foot. And this is a much harder one for me to do on this side actually, because my left hip is a little bit tight. So it's not, I don't have as much flexibility in it. So it can be, so just try and get into whatever comfortable pose works for you. And down into the foot. Using the thumbs to get in there. Saying hello to your foot. See, sometimes we forget about our feet, don't we? Don't give them all the love and care that they deserve. And into your ankle. There we go. And up the thigh, or not the thigh, sorry, the calf muscle. I didn't have enough coffee yet. And a little rub there as well. And then we're going to shake that one out too. Great. Okay, now you can keep your legs, if it's comfortable, like this. It's kind of like a yoga pose. I was never able to do those really fancy yoga poses where they bring their feet up here and here, but I think that some of my students are well able for that. So if you're able to do that and it feels comfortable, then by all means do it. So actually what I will do is I'll bring the feet together here like this, and I'm going to hold on to my feet, and I'm trying to, as much as I can, keep a nice straight back and relaxed shoulders, and then I'm just going to gently, you see this, bounce the legs like this, just very, very gently, like so. Hands together there, and gently. Great. Very different, isn't it? But actually I tend to do a lot of this at home, sometimes before I go into class and a couple of times during the week. That's it. And then I might just go kind of from side to side. I'll do a little bit more of side to side in a minute, but this is called rolling on your sitting bones. So your sitting bones is a nice way of saying your backside. So I'm on my backside here and I'm kind of rolling through it there on either side. And as I was saying, for myself, that hip, that left hip, it can be a little bit tricky here. It's a bit tight and sometimes a little bit sore. So if this feels sore, if it's hard to do, then you don't have to do it. Okay? There we go. And then just another little bit of a bounce there. And not forgetting to breathe. Now I'm going to keep one leg here and stretch the other one out. And I'm kind of, again, I'm sort of pushing this leg down and I'm reaching with my left hand down to touch my left toe, like so. I'm not trying to overstretch here, I'm just going where it feels comfortable. So it feels very comfortable for me to reach my toe, and I'm pushing down into this right knee here and I'm doing a nice stretch. Not collapsing down, I'm kind of stretching out. Now, for some of you that can be really easy and it's no problem for you to touch your toes, and for other people they may not be able to touch their toes without bending the knee. So instead of bending the knee, just reach down as far as you can. So even if it's only to reach to your knee, that you're trying that there. Great. And then back. And then you're going to do it on the other side. So it doesn't matter which side you start with, but you do each side. So this is again my problem side. So I'm pushing in there and I do feel a little bit of tension in the knee there. So I'm paying attention to it. and because I don't want to hurt myself. So I make sure that I'm not pushing it too hard or overstretching. But at the same time, I do know that so it's tight, it's not a big problem, and there's a certain amount that I can do that will be good for it. So again, I'm stretching out there and I'm not collapsing down. That's it. And again, I was just saying, if you can't reach all the way down to your toe, you might just reach as far as your knee here, and you're just a little gentle stretch. That's it. And back. And you might notice that I'm using the palm of my left hand to push my knee up, and then I'm bringing it back down. So it's being nice and gentle with it, and a little bit of a shake out there now as well, okay? Now I'm going to go from side to side. So again, we're doing this boat, and it's actually much easier to do it this way. And you're working out your arms as well. And it's like you're doing a big wave, or you could be on a choppy sea. So it could get a bit wilder. The waves are crashing up. And then it calms down. Nice and gentle, sunny, and a slight breeze. And then the waves pick up again, so beginning to move. And back. So I can really feel that in my arms. It's a nice bit of exercise because I'm coming down into the arm and I'm using my own strength to hold my body weight. And all the time I'm doing this, can you guess what I'm doing with my tummy? I'm holding in my tummy. I'm kind of really working with those muscles in there. I'm trying to pull the belly button back towards my spine here in the back. So I'll try it again. And I'm not forgetting to breathe. And relax. Good. Now we're going to bring the knees up to the chest. I'm going to put our hands behind our backs again and just gently, same kind of idea, going from side to side, getting into the hip. This is actually nice, it's quite relaxing. Good, dropping the knees towards the floor. And you can maybe hold it there for a moment and then back over. And hold and back over. And hold and back over. That's it. Now from this position I'm going to show it to you head on, and then I will change position again. So you notice I'm sitting up straight again and I'm holding my knees, and I'm going to come down into a lying position, keeping the feet on the floor. So how I'll do that, I'll come down through my spine. So I'm going to curl down, 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 down. Down, 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 until I'm in that position. And then I'm going to do something what's called angels in the snow. Have you done it before? It's where you move your arms up and down like they're wings. You've got to imagine there's snow here underneath you, and you're making an angel's wing in the snow. That's it. I'm going to show you that from a different angle. So I'm coming around to here. So you see that I was sitting up straight. I've got it there. Sitting up straight. And I want to come down through my back. So I'm coming down, 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 down. Try to keep the feet on the floor. It is quite hard to do that, but give it our best shot. Down, 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 and all the way down. Now I want to come down, scoot down here a bit more, so I'll just come down here so my head is on the carpet. That's it. And again, we're doing those angels in the snow. They look like from this side. Okay. Great. And then we're going to bring our knees into our chest, like so. So bring your knees in as far as you can, then you can put your hands over your knees like this, and you're pulling them in towards your chest. And this is to kind of stretch out your lower back. So you're bringing them in here. You can just relax here for a moment, breathing in and breathing out. I find that really relaxing. I have to be careful I'm not going to fall asleep. Alright, now we're going to do something which is like, it's called a bicycle. Do you remember doing this when you were much younger? I remember doing it a lot. So this is to bring your legs up into the air and you're doing a bicycle. So we're going to go like so. And then we'll try and get a bit faster. And then slower and faster. And slower and faster and slower and faster and slower. That's it. And slow it right down. Bring your knees in again, pulling them in towards the chest, breathing in and breathing out. In and breathing out. Then I'm going to bring the knees down and just relax here for a moment. So I'm putting my hands on my belly, and this is a really nice position to practice your deep breathing into the belly. So your belly's nice and relaxed and your hands are there, and you're going to breathe in. Now I could just show you a little bit so that you can see how my belly is moving. This is what we used to have to do when we were training as actors many years ago, and we had to use big telephone books, which don't exist anymore because nobody seems to have a landline, and we had to keep them on our belly. So just steal one of the books from here. This. And the mountains echoed. I'll put my book here on my belly, okay? Now, I'm going to see, can I lift that up with my breathing? So just keeping an eye on the book that's on my belly and see, can I lift it up with my breathing? So remember, I'm breathing in through the nose and out then through the mouth. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, breathing in and breathing out. So I haven't looked, but I think it's moving. I'm going to check and I'm looking. Yep, it's moving. So you could give this a go at home. It's a bit of fun as well, something different. This time I'm going to breathe in for 3 and I'm going to hold it for a count of 2 and then I'm going to breathe out for 3, okay? So I'm breathing in. Hold, breathe out. Do that again. So breathing in, hold, breathe out. And again, breathing in, hold, breathe out. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to control my breath, which is really important in acting. And because the breath is connected to your voice and how you're going to use your voice and how your voice is going to sound on stage. So still staying in this position, it feels so weird to be talking to you from down here. It's gas because the camera's up there and I'm down here, and it's very strange way of teaching your drama class, but sure, what else would I be doing? Okay, so this time I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to do my vocal exercises from down here. And again, we've always done our vocal exercises sitting in the chair, but when I was training as an actor, this is how we always began. Every time, every day, we came in at 8:30 in the morning, we lay down on our backs in the studio, and we had books on our bellies, sometimes a book under the head, and we were breathing. We began with breathing, and we began with vocal exercises. That was our warm-up, and then we were into the body and stretching out and all of that. So those are a way of life. That was how we began every single day of our acting training. All right, so we're going to try that, and this is what you guys are doing. You're actors in training. So breathing in and breathing out with an ah. So you can see the book going down when I'm breathing out with the ah. All right, we'll try that again. Breathing in and oh. Again, the book is going down, so it's not the same as when I breathe in and breathe out really quickly. I'm using the muscles in my belly to control my breath, so how long the sound lasts for. Okay, so breathing it again. So I want you to have a go of that at home, practicing the ahs, the ohs, and the e's. Maybe think about doing it 3 times, each sound 3 times. So 3 ahs, 3 rounds of o, 3 rounds of e. Very nice. And when you've got that done, we're just going to allow the legs to come down. And again, you can keep your hands on your belly or on your sides, not on your sides, but by your side, and so that you're nice and relaxed, and making sure that you're warm enough as well down here on the floor, because it can kind of get a little bit chilly. So I have my jumper on and the carpet's nice and snug, and I'm just going to relax here for a minute. This is a nice part of the class. So just letting the body go, and imagine yourself like you're pouring yourself into the carpet. Like you're letting your whole body just relax into the carpet. So your legs are heavy. The backs of your legs are heavy. Your feet are heavy. Your heels are heavy. Your bum is heavy. Your lower back is heavy. Top part of your back is heavy. Your shoulders are heavy. Your arms are heavy. The backs of your arms are heavy. Your wrists are heavy. Your hands are heavy. Your fingers are heavy. Your neck is heavy. Your head is heavy. Your hair is heavy. Your whole body is heavy. And you're pouring it into the ground. And breathing. Now, it would be really easy to fall asleep in this position, but I don't want you to do that. We're doing something what's called active relaxation. So we're actively relaxing the body, but we're not letting go completely and falling fast asleep. So from this point of heaviness, and where you've poured yourself into the floor, the carpet, the ground, you're just going to begin to kind of wake it up a little bit. So start by waking up your body. So you might need to do a big stretch. Or even a yawn. And you might find yourself curling over on your side. And if you want to, you can hang about there for a little bit, just as you begin to wake up the body. And again, stretching it out. So you can stretch out an arm, and you might stretch out a leg. Sometimes you're probably used to doing this in the morning time before you even get out of bed. And from this point, you're going to roll over and find yourself until you find yourself coming up onto your hands and knees. So I'm going to show you this position from this angle. And you could, if anybody's done yoga, they probably know some of these positions. I think this one was called the child pose. So just kind of stretching out there. It's a very nice stretch for lower back here. And then kind of coming up onto your hands are on the floor and your knees. So you're on hands and knees basically. And we're going to do a couple of little stretches here. They're kind of like cat stretches. So we're going to stretch up like so, bringing our head and chin into our chest, curling up the back, pulling the tummy up, and then stretching out. And this one is you're going to stick your bum out and your curve in your back, and like you want to bring your chin up to the ceiling, and then again pulling in, so curling the bum in, pulling the tummy up, chin to the chest, and then back out. That's it. And we'll do that one more time. So curling bum in, tummy tucked in, chin to the chest, and stretching out. Now this one is a bit funny, but it's good for your spine. So you're kind of beginning to kind of move from side to side, and then you can bring your hips, move your hips around like so. And I'll come around this way because I want to show you something to do with the hands here as well. So when you've finished that, you're kind of just stretching out there, and then you're going to move your hands around like this. So just kind of getting into the hands, pushing down into the ground, stretching them out. And then relax. So I'm going to come back onto our knees if that's comfortable for you. Again, if it's not, don't worry about it. You can come back down to a sitting position, or you could also get a cushion like this and put it between your knees and your bum, so it just gives a little bit more support like so. Yeah. So here I am, and I'm just going to come into my shoulders now. Into those shoulders, head forward with the shoulders, and then hands to the shoulders, really getting in there. Great. And relax, just brushing off there, and brushing off twice. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're going to do another little bit coming to standing up, but I will have to change the camera angle, because if I stand up now, you won't be able to see me. You'll just see my legs maybe, which would be bit weird. And we're also going to talk about character. So the last class that I put up online for all of you was around story making. I was making a story in 6 parts about a character. So some of that was coming out of your imagination, if you remember. So maybe some of you have done it, and maybe not, and that's fine. It's up online, so you can get at it at any point and do the bit of work when it suits you. But if you have done it and you've thought a little bit about your character, the character in the story, so do you remember you were thinking about a character, you were thinking about something that they wanted to do, you were seeing who was around to help them, who were the people in their lives that could help them do what it is they wanted to do. If I remember correctly, one of the characters was aiming to rob a bank. And then you were saying to yourself, well, what's in the way? What's getting in the way of my character? What's stopping them from doing, from robbing the bank? And then you were figuring out, well, how are they going to get around that? What were they going to do to get past that obstacle? That big word, obstacle, but it means something like bang, like a big wall in your way that's stopping you from doing something. And very much it really makes sense in terms of what's happening to us now, as in COVID-19. It is a big, big obstacle. It means it's getting in the way of us doing what we want to do, of living our lives in a normal way. So that's a huge obstacle. It's a big example of it. And then we were looking at how the story continued. So today what I want to do is kind of come back and think about character. And if you think back to the classes I put up previously, and also all the classes that you've been doing, we've looked at this neutral position, so neutral into different feelings and emotions. And these are really, really important, not only for your ability to act, to be a good actor and to play different parts, but also to think about your character. So if you were creating a character, someone that you wanted to play, whether it was a baddie or a goodie or a superhero or a ballet dancer, you would ask yourself, well, what's this character like? What do are they happy? Are they sad? Are they both? Are they excited? Maybe they're sneaky character. So that could be a baddie. And what you're doing there is you're adding some colour into the character. And if you remember, if you've watched it, because I'm not great at drawing, I drew my character as a matchstick man, which is just literally like a head, a line down for the body and the arms and the legs. And what I might be trying to do if I was to bring that character to life is that I'd be adding some colour to it. I would be dressing it up. I would be asking myself, well, what kind of clothes does that character wear? How do they walk? Do they walk, tall and strong, or do they are they stooped over, kind of sheltering themselves from the world, or are they like really angry in how they go about their business? So it's adding colour. It's like fleshing it out, dressing it up, beginning to understand the character that you are thinking about creating or playing, as in acting on stage. John, if you're watching, John Byrne from Monday class, I know, do you remember you played Shylock in Merchant of Venice? So he was a really angry character, wasn't he? And he was quite sly as well, and it's sneaky, and all he really cared about was money. And it was a problem for him in the end, because it got in the way of him living a good life, and he missed out on his relationship with his daughter. And in the end of our version of it anyway, he really wasn't a happy camper at the end. So all of these things, how the character behaves, they show the kind of life that they're going to have, or the life that they live. So I know getting a little bit airy-fairy there around it maybe, but no, I don't think airy-fairy, but maybe giving you a bit too much information, but take from it what you will. So we're going to do some work standing up now, and I'll just change the angle of the camera. Okay, so we're going to stand up nice and tall. We're rooting our feet into the ground here, and knees are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, neck, kind of holding the belly. I don't want my belly to stick out or anything, but I don't want to be like sucking it in either, but I want to know that I'm working the muscles there. I'll just show you from this side as well. So feet are planted into the ground. So it's like thinking about planting yourself in like a tree, not unlike what we were doing on the floor there, just allowing the body to sink down into the floor. So sinking your feet into the floor, really grounding yourself. Your knees are relaxed. Your belly is, you're kind of holding the belly, but it's not like really tight, and you're not just letting it out. But you have the shoulders are relaxed as well. And just allowing yourself to feel your strength, the strength in your body through your feet. So you're putting that energy down. And like maybe a string is coming out of the top of your head here. So you've got a nice posture. Good. And from this position you can just move a little bit to just moving on the spot. Exploring. Imagining like you are a tree, so your roots are down in the ground. Where can you go without moving your feet? How can you move your body? So you can use your arms. You notice that I'm using my hips. I can stretch out. I'm not moving my feet. I'm keeping them rooted in the floor. I'm coming through soft knees. I'm moving the hips again and up around. I can move around like so. Through the hips and around. I'll come around this way so you can see as well. So again, soft knees. I can move my arms. I can stretch up to the ceiling. There's quite a lot of movement I can do without lifting my feet off the ground. So I'm taking that energy up through my feet, bringing it up through the body. And again, I can move my hips. I can do big circles with my hips, like I would be if I had a hula hoop. I notice there's lots of hula hoops for sale these days. And again, I can swing the arms. And I'm going to really swing them like so. I can stretch, stretching and stretching, reaching. And I can also soften the knees and collapse right down and like I'm touching the floor, and then coming back up through the spine. I'm going to move around this way so you can see. So I'm down like this, and I want to come up, but I'm going to come up through the spine. So I've got to really have my feet into the ground, my knees, and I'm using my legs, but I'm coming up through the spine. My chin is tucked in here, and I'm coming all the way up. And then the head is the last thing to go up. So I'll do that again. Again, my knees are nice and relaxed. Dropping the chin to the chest, curling over, and down, and then up we come. And I'm going to do that one more time. So drop the chin to the chest, down, 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 and up we go. Great. And let's have a bit of a shake out. And then I'm going to just start by lifting the toes off the spot. So a little bit of lifting here. Into a jog. And I want to get a bit faster. I want to get faster again. And faster. Lifting the knees up. And one more time faster. And then I'm going to slow it down. And down. And down. So it's just kind of like I'm walking on the spot. That's it. Not forgetting to breathe. And then I want to get faster. And I want to get faster again. I want to lift my knees up, 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 up. And faster, 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 faster. Holding in my belly. And relax. And jogging on the spot. That's it. And then again, I'm going to bring in those little bit of, feels like it could be Latin dancing. So I actually didn't mention, but when you're doing all of this, you could play some nice music in the background that could help you with your movement. So I'm going to come into the hips and make some circles with the hips, or figure eights with the hips, like this. I'm using my arms as well. Let's see, can I bring those into circles? That's it, and the whole way up, spiraling up the body and moving I always feel like could be like a tornado or something when I'm doing this. So spirals, spiraling, spiraling, and spiraling up, and spiraling down. That's it. And up we go. And down. And relax. And breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. So you'll notice on that breath out that I'm now standing in neutral, which is the place I want to be before I start acting. So I'm in this nice, comfortable, relaxed space, and I'm ready to begin acting. So from here, what we'd normally do is we'd go from neutral into joy, or from neutral into sadness, and so on. I've spoken about what I'd like you to do this week, which is to think about your character. Now, you may not have done the exercise around the story yet, and that's perfectly fine. And if you want to start from scratch here, if you want to start with a character, that's great. So you can take the idea of a character that you want to work on. So whether it's a man, a woman, a boy, a girl, and you're going to think about this character. So you're going to add some colour into it. So imagine that the character is just in neutral. You're going to ask yourself, what's this character like? Are they happy? So then you might say, yeah, they're happy. And you're in a happy pose, okay? So it could be happy. And then you say, well, what kind of clothes do they wear? So we're going to just think about that today, because clothes are really important expression of ourselves. And I know a lot of the girls in the class anyway, you all have your own sense of style. And let's not take away from the boys either, because I know you guys are well dressed too. But oftentimes girls really love to express their personality through their clothes. With the hairbands or dresses, scarves, jewellery, makeup, getting your nails done. And guys too, so whether or not they like dark clothes or bright clothes, some guys like wearing shirts or just t-shirts or baseball caps. So thinking a little bit about what is it that my character might wear? How do they like to dress? Okay, so that's two things so far. So you're in your neutral, you're thinking of your character, you're asking yourself, is my character happy? Yes, they are happy. Or maybe they're sad, maybe they're angry, who knows? Maybe your character's angry because something's happened to them in the story. But whatever it is, I want you to ask that question, and you can just decide one thing about it for the moment. But remember that probably your character will have lots of different feelings. So they might be happy at one point in the story, and then something could happen and that would make them sad, or make them angry, or make them jealous. All those different feelings and emotions that we have as human beings. But for the moment, just thinking of a feeling or emotion for the character. Then you're asking yourself, well, how do they dress? How do they like to express themselves with their clothes? And you see today I'm in my rhythm room top, because I'm putting this out for as a class online. But generally I don't go around every day wearing my rhythm room clothes. I like to put hairbands in my hair, and sometimes I wear dresses, sometimes I wear jeans, sometimes I like wearing high heels. So on that note, if your character is someone who liked wearing high heels, you're going to ask yourself, well, how does my character walk? So if they're happy and they're in their high heels, they might be. So you'll notice I'm standing up here on my tippy toes, pretending I'm in my high heels and walking around. Or maybe your character is somebody who likes wearing wellies. And maybe they work outside on the farm, so they could be thinking about that. And immediately when I think about having the wellies on, I can feel myself kind of grounded and walking with purpose down to the farm. Maybe I'm going down to milk the cows or check on the chickens. And I know I'm wearing my wellies because it's probably going to be mucky out there. So that's also kind of affecting how I'm going to walk. So, boom, boom. Boom. Like that. So coming back again to neutral. And asking yourself those 3 things about your character. So asking, how does your character feel? How does your character like to dress? Express themselves through their clothing. And how does your character walk? And that can, how a character walks as well can also be linked to how a character is feeling. And you'll know this from our work from neutral into happy, sad, joyful, etc. So if I'm feeling sad, I'm not going to be walking around like that. I'm probably going to be walking quite slowly. I might even have my arms folded, you know, or if I'm a shy character as well, I might do that too. I might like have my arms folded and I wouldn't really look at anybody and kind of, you know, like this. You see what I mean? So however we're feeling at any given moment affects how we walk and how we move through the world as well. All right, have you got it? Those 3 things. So thinking of your character, thinking about how they feel, wondering what kind of clothes do they wear? How do they express themselves with their clothes? And 3rd thing, how do they walk? How do they move? All right? So that's something for you to think about anyway for this week. And as always, if you have any video clips of your work, please send them to me. Love to see them. And if you do that, I can also make nice little clips of what we've been doing and put them up on our Facebook page. So that would be really great as well. And just to say that I will be doing a Zoom catch-up this week. So I don't know if any of you guys have Zoom, but if you do, I can send you the link and we can all just catch up, and not even to do a class, but just to say hello to each other and see how we all are. Okay, so I will be creating a Zoom meeting and then I can send out the link to anybody who might be interested. All right, in the meantime, take care of yourselves and have a good day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.